This is the ZenGrip Ronin from Satisfye, a premium lightweight grip for the Switch and Switch OLED. I've always said that the best thing about the Switch is that it's ultra thin, and the worst thing about the Switch is that it's ultra thin. Satisfye sent me this a few months ago and it has not come off my Switch since. Let me explain. Hey, I'm Ty, the Tynology of the gaming variety. I'm back. If everything went as planned, this is my second video in as many weeks.
Nope.
If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, it's good to see you again. Now, just over 4 years ago, I started this channel. And my first video was a grip for the Switch Lite. At the time, the Switch Lite was my primary Switch. And I was cramping trying to hold that thing without a grip. And so I found a grip case thing and it inspired me to make my first video. In that video, I kind of joked about Satisfye sponsoring me at some point. I don't have one, but they look great for comfort and ergonomics and build quality and everything. They just look super high quality. They're also great for sponsoring people like me. And 4 years later, this video is not sponsored by Satisfye, but they did send me their ZenGrip Ronin about 6 months ago, I'd say. And shut up. And in that time, it has not come off my Switch. Like, I can think of a handful of times in the last 6 months that this grip has left my Switch. The thing is, I can't play handheld consoles for very long unless there's a bulge. And now, I'm not a stranger to Satisfye grips. I bought the original one for my original Switch and used it all the time. But it was annoying. I had to take it out and put it back in constantly because that's how I charged it. And so I couldn't dock it, so I'd have to take it out and charge it. So I couldn't charge it. It was kind of one of those things where I would put it in only to play handheld. Let me explain that I'm a type of gamer that requires as few barriers to start playing a game as possible. And so even as little as, you know, like taking something out of the grip to charge it. If I have a dead console, if I have an update that's gonna take an hour, I'm like, well, I guess I won't be playing video games. I should continue my fanfic. Kirby sucked so hard. But with the original Satisfye grip, I loved it. I loved playing handheld with it on my Switch. And I loved it so much that when I got the Switch OLED, I went and trimmed all the little rubber grips to make room for my Switch OLED because I wanted to use it. I wasn't gonna buy another grip and just leave this one. Now, the Satisfye ZenGrip Ronin, it's totally redesigned. It's a lot more sleek and streamlined. It's lighter. And the reason why it hasn't come off is I haven't had a need to. Especially because they sent me the one with the case, and the case is awesome. It fits everything perfectly. It's been my go-to Switch setup. And so the grip stays on, goes in the case, comes out. And so let's go over some pros and cons, because there are cons to any sort of accessory. There's always some, you know, concessions that you have to make. So the things that I like about this grip is, first and foremost, it is extremely comfortable. It's such an upgrade over the original one, and the original one's really comfortable. The grips are better. The plastic feels more premium. The fit is better. It's less pronounced. But ultimately, the most comfortable handheld console to use right now is the Steam Deck. I like those big chunky boys. And this gives me that same type of feel where I get, you know, something to hold on to. You know, this is controversial, but I really like the offset right stick. Maybe it's because I have big hands. I've heard that some people with smaller hands have trouble reaching the buttons. That's not ever been an issue with me. I think it's perfectly positioned, your thumb right on the face buttons. And it really helps with the right thumbstick because you can shift your hand lower and you have that separation, whereas without it, you're all tucked in tight to the Joy-Con, and it's just, that's what causes those cramps. The other thing, I mean, aside from it being high quality plastic and rubber grips, everywhere where the Switch touches it has a rubber barrier, and so Your Switch never touches any plastic, which is really, really nice. So you don't have to risk any plastic on plastic issues. Now, to get to the cons, the first one is something I don't know how you fix it because it's kind of out of their control. But when you slide your Switch with the ZenGrip Ronin into a dock, the left grip blocks the two USB ports. And so you can't plug anything into those. And if you have the OLED dock, you even lose that internal USB port too, because now it's an Ethernet port. That's kind of a pain because I like to charge my controllers using those. And so I don't know the fix for that, but it's just something to note. I haven't seen anyone really talk about that in reviews for this. It has these game holders, which a lot of people like, but I've lost games in here before. Like, I just forget that they're there because I don't use them. I guess if you use them regularly, they are really cool to have. But the case comes with a game holder, and then I always have another thing to just hold all my games. And so I either forget or I don't think I'll ever use these little game holders. The other thing is the grip can stand up on its own. It stands straight up vertically 90 degrees. And it has, you know, the cutout for the stand, which is cool, that you can use the stand, but you can't use the stand because the grips are in the way. I guess you can lay it almost flat. It kind of like, I think that's the only way is near flat. But if you try to like do it like a 45-degree angle, it doesn't work. It'll just fall backwards. And so that's kind of pain. You can't use that really nice new kickstand for the Switch OLED when it's in here. But you know, we don't play tabletop mode. I've done it once. This is a very nitpicky thing, but the white of the Switch OLED Joy-Cons is a slightly different color white than the grip. I actually like the bright white of the Satisfye grip, but up against the kind of slightly off-white of the OLED, I always see it, and it's just a minor gripe. But I mean, that's it. That's the most I could come up with of my little nitpicks about this device. The other thing is, it is premium, and so I think the grip runs about $45. I'll have links to it in the description if you want to pick it up. But it feels so premium. It's such a premium device. There's a reason why it took me 6 months to put this video out is I felt like I needed to use it. I needed to really use it. I wasn't just gonna be like, oh, this is great, cool. And I wanted real world use. And the fact that I've been using this for 6 months and it has almost never come off my Switch says a lot. I don't think there's any accessory I've ever used for a game console that has been more tied to the core use of gaming than this Satisfye grip, specifically because it can dock without needing to be removed. So it just lives here because if I'm gonna play handheld, I'm gonna play with it on, and if I'm gonna play docked, I can just slide it straight into the dock. Man, I can't complain. I know there's competitors, and I'm not discounting those. This is the one that I've been using, and it's fantastic. So what do you think? Can you play your Switch in handheld without some type of grip? Do I just have, you know, goblin hands? I don't know. I can't do it. I've tried. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Again, thank you for joining me. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Have a good evening, a good day. Have a great day. How about that? And come follow me on social media, Instagram, X. Join our Discord. I'll see you soon. Peace. Cheers.